What is that? I mean, my talent is something that accumulates by symmetry to my character, right? If you have some special gift, it is what makes you you, meaning being you is what your special talent, your special gift of character is. It can be multiple things or just one idea or a lot of all-round ideas and so forth. It can also be a lot of perfection. But basically every person, every character, every being comes with a gift. That is not necessarily something that is predetermined or at all predetermined. It is predestined, but it's not predetermined. Now, every destiny requires different work, but that is useful and likely and easier with character. If everyone would be the same, that would be rather boring, because no one would be anyone anymore. And also mathematically improbable and impossible and problematic. Because if all people are the same and think the same, Bennu really cries out every now and then, meaning every time and through time. At every moment, meaning everything collides with each other. So speciality and difference is good. Variety is good. And there we come to what talent, gift, and power in that degree is. It's basically meaning that you have a predetermined idea in you by your parents or by your birth circumstances, and the miracle and the invisible miracle revert each other onto something that predestines you. Now, what is an invisible miracle? It's basically what illusions you into existence to get the illusion of the miracle, that the miracle can even think itself up. And I mean the miracle of life, because life is not predetermined. Because why should there be a universe but not another universe? If there is one universe, why can there not be a second universe? Why, if there's one God, why can there not be a second God? Existence is not rather drastically changed by the existence of something else before it appears. It's not really the case. If something existed, it's existing on its own. So rather the existence itself changes just the rest. If you exempt yourself from existence, you really don't change anything. Meaning, the basic problematic idea with talent, gift, and so forth is that people think this is unfair. It's unfair that someone knows something that someone else doesn't. Well, everyone knows something the other person doesn't. And if you work long enough and hard enough, you know more than you knew before. And what I mean by work is not being in a fabric, being traveling or something like it. What I mean by work is thinking, conceptualizing, and never stop working. Not a single second. Meaning, if you never stop working, never stop thinking, never stop re-evaluating and developing yourself, you will achieve, in my mind, greatness. I'm maybe not the person of greatness. No, it really depends on circumstances. I really like myself. And I really like the powers I possess, even though people don't see it, apparently. But the problematic symptom is that people think that it's unfair. If someone has $300 trillion, I don't envy on anyone in the world. Not even, no. I don't envy anyone. Not at all. It's the first step to the dark side. Self-pity is worse, but envy is really the first step. If you envy something, you're rather not happy with yourself and you project your own emotions onto someone else. And it's rather bad. Meaning, all of these concepts are really important to get to knowledge if you want to develop yourself. Now, what is lifetime? Lifetime is basically just time. If you have time on your hands, you can work. It's not unfair that some people lived longer and some people don't. And just because someone is more powerful than you because he lived longer, that doesn't mean it's unfair. That means just a bigot. Nothing else. Now, the problematic idea is something else. If talent and gift accumulate to something, like a faded essence, or something like it, not really that, but a faded essence, then people could argue that the fate of other people changes their own fate, when it really doesn't. It doesn't change anything. It just changes your perspective on your own fate. Meaning you need to work on the idea to be yourself. You need to work first on how to know yourself and how to know what you do. You need to know who you are to not know what you are not. Or better, what you are not. What you are and what you are not. Meaning, if you want to develop yourself, you really need to first get everything out of your mind that is from the outside. But you still need to, while doing that, working on yourself, otherwise you lose your gift. So when do you do that? In your birth idea. In your first years of life, you should do that. You should not let yourself be guided by the flow, guided by everything, the experience, and so forth. So if you have experience, that is also worth something. You can evaluate yourself now from that, but now other people influenced you. That's okay, but it's your choice. It was your choice. For some life ideas that you experienced, you choose that. Now, if you don't believe in free choice whatsoever, this discussion is relevant because you shouldn't be able to have that discussion. Not even if you watch this video. Why? Because you could not freely choose anything. Not even arguing for and against it, and better said, not even thinking the first thought up. Not even finding the video. Because I will title it with something that you can only know if you freely choose. Or better said, freely chosen your own choice. Which will be molten again. The female word for vogelfrei. Which is very bad concept, because vogelfrei doesn't mean you can harm someone. It just means the person is exempted from the law and the benefits of the law. But you should really not use a person as something for your own degree. That's rather dumb. Meaning, the biggest problem is that people think that all of that is bullshit. They think the fundamental truth that man and woman are different, that people make their free choices, that they build their own character, their own intelligence, and so forth is wrong. That there is determinism in that. It's not. Determinism, in my mind, arises from the world, and you can use it, but it's not necessary. But the more you use it, the more free will you lose. And the more often you lose the free choice of possibility of more free choice, the less free you are. And everyone knows that. If you take an apple, you know you cannot eat other fruits. It's irrelevant. Now, you cannot do everything at once, then you're basically not existing anymore. You need to choose how you want to be. And that makes you then you. And if you're not you anymore, that's rather a sad idea. And making anyone responsible for your own mistakes is rather a dumb idea. Like a really dumb idea. Because then you just fade it to your own death. Whatsoever. Yeah, meaning, all in all, if you don't understand this, you have a problem because you have already so long chosen against it. And now the big idea. From life experience, you can now evaluate yourself to learn that again while you gain knowledge from your own experience and the ones you made. It's basically a really good idea. It just accumulates to new ways of thinking that you need to find yourself. Again, no one can help you with that, because otherwise you have life experience again that this develops it. Yeah, basically mathematical, metrics law.